Hey, what's going on, friends? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to the Stamford Bridge studio and to Chelsea News, the daily series here, of course, where I tell you what's going on, reflect on what's been said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion on it, more importantly, asking for yours. Ooh, leak for the kit, well, the colours of the kit next season. We're going to look at an edit for that. Talk about N'golo Kante leaving Chelsea on a free, and speaking of free transfers, Leandro Trossard yet to extend with Brighton, can mosey on away from the Amex Stadium in the summer. This guy starts for Belgium. Could Chelsea sign him on a free contract? Lots to get into today. Chelsea are feeling good. We're on a winning streak. 4 clean sheets for Kepa Arrizabalaga in a row. 5 wins in a row. Unbeaten in 6 for Potter. It's magic stuff. It really is. Please do drop a like if you want to support that thing. It makes me feel good. Thank you for dropping a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Only if you want to, but should you choose to do so, hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Oh, he's done a good one. This video is brought to you by SPITCH. Fantasy football, put the best around. SPITCH can win you money, ladies and gentlemen. You can play season mode, which you can do for free, but also wager. The thing is, why it's a good fantasy football is because it doesn't reward the amount of time you play, remembering to do it every weekend. It rewards you for being the best. You can dip in and out every week and just play that round. And also, season mode rewards the best lineups, and it will dip in. So basically, if you're feeling good that weekend and you do well, essentially, you have a chance to win. It uses OptaStats. It's better than other fantasy footballs. Simply click the link down in the description to go enjoy SPITCH. Get amongst it. Enjoy it. Right, back in the studio. We're going to talk about Kante going on a free. We are going to talk about Leandro Trossard, but I want to talk about Footy Headlines yet again. Going early, releasing the colour scheme for Chelsea's home kit next season, and people are feeling good, and this is causing a stir because it's blue and gold, early like 2010s vibe when we had that nice kit. And I'm going to show you an edit here by, let's just quickly have a look, by We've Won It All on Twitter. And as you can see, this is obviously an edit from you know, a clearly very talented editor, but that's the color scheme, the badge and the Nike tick, and indeed well, I'm assuming the trim and the free logo. Although I think we yet to renew with free will be in gold. We are in the final season now of free, but wonderful edit. So shout out to this guy. But yeah, man, this is what people have been waiting for. People wanted the gold. We like the third kit, like the gold now that's being released, and the tech fleece and everything. It looks really, really cool. But that is a beautiful Chelsea kit. It makes you think of the old Adidas kit that we had that looked really good. And I think slowly, with the new ownership, now I'm not going to blame Abramovich for bad kits, but maybe these new owners, this new board, this new intervention with certain people are saying, look, it's time to put a bit of blue and gold on the kit. And bellissimo. It is bellissimo. So wonderful stuff. Let me know what you think about that down in the comment section below, because I really like it. I really do. I think it's a lovely colour scheme, and I'm pleased that that's the next kit. Hot dog, I might even buy it. It's been a while. Let's move on and talk about the next part. Talk about the next part of this video. Let's move on to the next part of the video and talk about Leandro Trossard. Of course, the Belgian auxiliary attacker who can play as a forward, but a winger. And when Reece James doesn't play, we're in trouble. So, Leandro Trossard, although he does play on the other side, can play as an attacking midfielder, a striker, and a left winger. He is 27 years old. In his prime, he is a right-footed player. Of course, I think he pretty much start for Belgium. Now, I don't know how much of a flex that is this day and age with the golden generation sort of fizzling out a little bit, but he's a great player. And of course, he scored a hat-trick at Anfield recently. He was signed in 2019 by Graham Potter to Brighton, and he signed a 4-year deal, which expires at the end of this season. So we're going to jump over now and read an article by Graham Bailey on 90 Min. So it's not just Chelsea, Newcastle are both in for Leandro Trossard. Okay, so Graham Potter is keen on reuniting with Trossard at Chelsea, while the Seagulls' former sporting director, Dan Ashworth, of course, he's gone to Newcastle now, he wants to bring him to Newcastle. So Trossard has a contract running until, this is 2024, I think it's 2023, that's what transfer marked, and indeed Graham Bailey tweeted he's got 1 year, so he'll by all accounts, he's a free agent in the summer, and they want to sign him down to a new deal. Doesn't look like he's signing. He isn't short of suitors. Of course, he's already mentioned that turning down Chelsea would be very, very difficult, and you could understand why. Potter, who utilised Trossard in a number of different roles during his time at the Amex Stadium, wants to bring the versatile winger to Stamford Bridge, having previously signed him for Genk in 2019. But however, Dan Ashworth wants to bring him to Newcastle as well. Trossard is enjoying an outstanding campaign for the Seagulls with 5 goals and an assist to his name already. 5 goals? Jesus, yeah, that's good. Following on form last term where he scored 8 times with 3 further assists. Look, man, for a winger, 12 Premier League goal involvements for, Brighton's pretty darn good, and he's on to beat that this season. Like I said, in his prime, feeling good. He's got no problem scoring hat-tricks at Anfield. Not that, Liverpool have been too much of a force this season. It's still really rather impressive. Brighton recognise that the progress they have made with Trossard since he joined, and they're desperate to keep him with a more lucrative contract. They are offering him a contract that would make him the highest paid player at the club, putting him ahead of the likes of Welbeck, Lallana and Lewis Dunk, interestingly. As well as the interest from the Premier League, 90 Min has been told the major interest for Trossard from La Liga and Serie A teams Atletico Madrid and Milan respectively have both watched him this season. Atletico Madrid are just a bit stinky at the moment. If you're an attacker, surely there's got to be a point where Atletico Madrid just isn't appealing anymore. I know they've somehow signed a bunch of, they got Griezmann, Suarez won them the league, whatever. But, João Felix has got to be reflecting on that career move, thinking, oh, God, stinky defensive football, and I'm an exciting, high-octane attacker. Saying that, though, massive clubs, and Milan, of course, are the Italian champions, despite Chelsea slapping them about twice in the Champions League. All of the above will be alluring for Leandro Trossard. You could argue Newcastle would just be about money. Look, no offence to an army, Newcastle are a huge club, but comparatively to where these clubs have been recently, ain't no thing. And of course, you might want to look at where the money is coming from in Newcastle, etc. So on and so forth. I would like this. Leandro Trossard, like I said, is in his prime, and if he's a free transfer, surely, don't call me Shirley, that has to be a really great move. I'll say, essentially, I said this so much of Tuchel. Well, if he wants this, it's backing the manager. I'm terrified to keep saying that now because, I kept saying that about Tuchel signings and not great stuff followed. But essentially, he fits the Potter system really well. If you're not going to be spending loads of money on him, it's like when I was saying, get Ousmane Dembele for Thomas Tuchel, it's backing the manager on a free transfer. Now, you would imagine the wages for Ousmane Dembele would be a lot more than Leandro Trossard. And Leandro Trossard, he's doing well in the Premier League at the moment. He looks like he feels good, and I think he would probably go up another level at Chelsea. Personally, I genuinely think that. I just think he fits the bill. Look, we've got so many attackers. We're signing N'Golo. We're looking at Leao. But as exciting Leao is, and everyone wants him, in terms of being a useful Premier League player that presses, that understands where he needs to be positionally, etc., you'd feel safer starting, Trossard than Leao. If you want a magician that's going to change something and be a wild card, you will always start Rafa Leao because he looks like a big centre forward that is really fast and can play like a winger. But if you want someone who's tactically astute and hard-working in the Premier League and has got good numbers of all the stuff, and he can work for your coach, and he's on a free transfer and won't cost 100 million euros, what do you think? I think Leandro Trossard is a good player, and we should sign him on a free. There you go. Who knows what happened? We may or we may not. Make sure you comment your thoughts and feelings on the Belgium down below. Belgians have done well for Chelsea. Apart from Lukaku. Maybe Batshuayi. Okay, non-centre forward Belgians have done well for Chelsea. Eden Hazard, Thibaut Courtois. I mean, are we going to talk about De Bruyne? You know what? Let's move on. N'golo Kante. We haven't spoken about it much recently, but it is a big situation. Cast your mind back a few weeks ago, and I'd be like, look, if I had to keep one and let one go, I'd keep N'golo Kante and let Jorginho go. And that's no disrespect to Jorginho. I reckon he seems super fun. One of the best psychological forces, is that what I'm trying to say? One of the best vibes in the dressing room. But I've just flip-reversed this man. I've never disrespected Jorginho in terms of what he can do as a specialist player. He's good. But the truth is, Jorginho, not only is he like a hard worker and feel-good guy, he doesn't get injured. They're both 31 years old and both out of contract in the summer. If you said to me, right, both fit, who'd you keep? I say, sorry, Jorginho, I'm dropping you to the airport, mate. Hop in. Do you know what I mean? You're a good guy. We'll stop and get a beer. We'll have a great time. You are an amazing player, but, it's N'golo Kante. It's fit N'golo Kante. It's not just you, mate. There's no, conversation for most players in the world. But the truth is, N'golo Kante is going to miss the World Cup. So he'll only play in his final year for Chelsea, maybe a few months. And he would cost a lot of money to re-sign. Because there'd probably be a signing on fee. He'd be on even if he's not on quite the same wages, he'd want very high wages because he knows he can still demand them. He doesn't want to leave London. Look, I don't think he's going to bowl up at Tottenham or Arsenal, personally. I don't know. I mean, if he leaves Chelsea, for me, it always made sense that he goes to PSG. He is Parisian. He'd tear it up over there, and he'd get loads of money and a big contract. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Though, look, so many of you rightly have been contesting this on social media, saying, mate, it's N'golo Kante. You just find a way to keep him, because this guy, when he's on, you are going to be so much more inclined. You're going to be so much more better off to win any game, essentially. Whether it's a Champions League game, whether it's a high-profile domestic game that you need to win. When he's on it, he's just absolutely insane. Sure, if he said to Graham Potter, would you like this guy who's, got good use out of Basuma and stuff before, but you could have the OG interceptive midfielder in the Premier League in N'Golo Kante. Everyone's always going to want him. And it looks like he could go on a free. The thing is, I understand if Chelsea let N'Golo Kante go on a free transfer. I understand it. And I understand it if they decide, if Potter's right, well, I knock it about a bit, give Jorginho a 2+1 deal, let N'Golo Kante go off on a free. It's a plot twist from a few months ago, if you ask me. It's a hell of a plot twist, but I kind of understand. But what would be incredibly difficult to stomach is him just bowling up to Real Madrid, signing on a free transfer. Modric played to 37, still playing, looks really good. He's only 31. Even if he just plays for 3 years for Real Madrid and has high profile, good games, and they signed him on a free, it would be so hard to stomach. Even if he does that at PSG, if he looks like an absolute worldie for 2 or 3 years, and you think, oh, we let that go for free. After, he was so amazing for us. But then again, you'd have to have, proper hindsight and remember the injury things. Look, this is a hard one to navigate, man. It's a friggin' minefield. And I'm glad I don't have to make these decisions at the club, and there's professionals doing it. But I guess, like everything else in this new Chelsea regime, it's going to be a data-led, algorithmic thing. They're going to say, look, this is how long this is his recurring theme of his injury. This is what the doctors are saying. This is what the data is saying. This is what the financial algorithm is dictating in terms of risk and performance. The numbers say, look, we'll offer you this. If you don't want to take this, you go on a free. Merci beaucoup, mon ami. And he goes. Let me know what you think, though. Comment down below. I'm keen to basically read what you guys are saying to each other. Respectful and lovely, fun, friendly comments. That's what YouTube is all about, mate. Make sure you do check out SPITCH. Click in the link in the description. And thank you for liking the video and subscribing. I look forward to seeing you guys again here on Football Therapy very, very soon for another Chelsea news video, post-match presser, whatever comes along. I want to see you here, mate. So take it easy. Enjoy the football. Peace.